I'm Jack Kurtzman, manager of Hyde Street Studios. So this studio has a deep history. It started in 1969, and in those days, Grateful Dead, Jefferson Airplane, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, CCR all recorded here. And the music from that era really defined the San Francisco sound. That was the late 60s, early 70s. In that San Francisco sound era, that was also a real shift in the recording scene. Hyde Street Studios was a big part of that. Gone were the days of working with a stuffy engineer in a lab coat. Now artists were working with their peers in the studio. And it sort of fostered a looseness and creativity that really impacted the songs of that San Francisco sound. In the following decades, a lot of the punk and hip-hop scene really blossomed here. So Tupac Shakur, groups like Digital Underground, Hieroglyphics, Dead Kennedys, Green Day, Cake, that was all done in these rooms. And recently we do a lot of major label artists, but also a ton of local music. We have a lot of great vintage equipment here. Our Neve console is definitely a highlight, and engineers come from all over the world to work with that. Our microphone collection, we've got a big vintage microphone collection. This vintage equipment, it's the kind of thing that only a pro studio would have. So when you hear a classic recording or even a modern recording, these are sounds that really can only be achieved with this professional, vintage equipment. There's virtual recreations, plugins that sort of emulate that sound, or companies that are building channel strips in the Neve style. So to have originals is really unique and really an advantage to us, because it's impossible to really recreate what those are. It's the transformers, the tubes. They just don't make them like they used to. So it's nice to have those tools as well as modern tools to be able to work with artists and really come up with any kind of result you want.
There's a kind of road in the back.
Hyde Street Studios does have an internship program. The interns are what I think is the most important part of the studio. They really keep things running around here. And they're able to sit in on sessions. We also have monthly intern workshops where they can work directly with the engineers. And the engineers are very supportive of the interns. It's a nice mentorship sort of situation. And the interns are able to learn both the technical aspects of the studio, but also the creative process and the interpersonal skills and what happens in that sense in the studio. So that's certainly equally as important. We were recently recognized by the city of San Francisco for our legacy business status, for our contribution to San Francisco's culture. I'm excited about continuing the legacy of Hyde Street Studios. In the future, I just want to make every record bigger and better for both the major label artists that come in and the local music that we work with.
Oh, if time don't kill me, someone will you say? So go on.